Boa noite, Portugal. Muy buenas a todos. Sean bienvenidos a una nueva entrevista internacional acá en Shufflinmedia. Mi nombre es Omar Betancor y hoy seguimos nuestra travesía por el Festival da Canção en Portugal 2025. We continue our journey through the Festival da Canção, and this time with one of the fan favorites during this time. Peculiar, Joao, how you doing? Boa tarde.
Hi, boa tarde. Buenas tardes. How
How
are
you?
you?
I'm doing great. How are you? How is it going for you during these days?
It's been good. A lot of preparation for the performance. That's going to determine a lot of things. So no pressure. Just came actually from my singing classes because like I'm preparing with a vocal coach for the performance.
Nice.
And I don't know, it's just being very, very exciting to see all the little pieces of the puzzle coming back together. Coming together. Um, to do the final presentation. So I don't know, I'm very excited. Also, like I've been getting a lot of messages and reacts and comments about the song. I'm not used to all of the attention that I'm getting now, so it's a little bit weird for me, but in a good way. So yeah, I would say like I'm very excited about the Festival da Canção.
Before going through your Festival da Canção and possibly Eurovision experience, I want to know about yourself. Who is Peculiar? How your music career developed?
So Peculiar came from basically when I was younger. I always had a little bit of a hard time like fitting in or finding my people. Let's put it like this. Also, I'm from like a small town not a small town. It's the capital of Algarve, so the south part of Portugal.
Yeah.
But it's small compared to Lisbon. That's where I'm living right now.
Yeah.
And it's a little bit harder to find people that have the same interests when you're in a more artistic field or a music field, and it's a little bit hard to pursue a career in music there. So I don't know, I just felt like I saw a lot of people around me that had like what I call like peculiarities, so things about them that make them them. So for example, I'm sure you have like your friends have things that say, oh, that's so Omar, like those are the things that define you when you do something.
Totally.
And I really believe that we should be proud of those things, and we shouldn't erase them or try to diminish them so we can fit in. I think like if we are proud of who we are and of our like little differences, the right people will come to us, and we will be in the right group, in the right context, and not the other way around. So the name came a little bit because of that, because in my music I always try to spread the message of like being having the courage to be yourself. I would summarize it like that. And I started making music. My contact with music like started at a young age. Not like, I think the most stereotypical thing is like, oh, my dad listens to Bon Jovi and my mom listens to, I don't know. Actually, my mom and my dad only listen to music that plays on the radio. They only listen to music when they're going to work. But I started developing my musical ear, I would say, in school, so in a very academic way. I started having like choir lessons at 5 years old. And then in the third grade here in Portugal, I went to the conservatorium and I started learning classical guitar, and also like a choir, like all the theory things, the theory classes, and also singing lessons. But it wasn't until the 10th year here in Portugal, it's like the beginning of high school, that I don't know how it works in Spain, but in Portugal, when you go to the high school, you choose like an area. So here we have sciences, we have arts, we have humanities, and we have economics. And uh, it's very common for people to say go to sciences because it's the area that gives you more opportunities, like more that opens more doors for you in university. And because I was not sure of what I wanted to pursue, I went to sciences, but it was like the worst decision ever. Like my brain is simply not wired to work in math and like physics and chemics, nothing like that. So I was very bored in class because Even though like I applied myself and I studied at home and everything, it was really hard for me to get good grades. So I started getting a very unmotivated and bored at classes. So I started like writing songs.
Mhm.
And the first song that I wrote, I had this melody in my head, and I started writing the lyrics in English. And then when I get home, I was like super excited. Oh my god, I wrote my first song. And then I was listening to the song, and actually the melody of the song already existed. It was from the song "All I Want" from Codaline. I don't know if you know the song.
Uh-huh. Yes, I
Yeah.
know. I know Codaline.
Uh, so that's like that was me beginning like defining my musical taste, and the melody got stuck in my head and I just thought it was mine, so I started writing on top of it. But that showed me that I had the ability and to write lyrics and to write songs, and it was a very fulfilling feeling. So like writing a song and looking to something that wasn't there before and now it exists because of you. For me,
Mhm.
that was like really I don't know, exciting. I love that feeling, and the only thing I that ever made me feel that way was singing to other people. So I started like seeing myself as an artist, a musical artist, and I've been growing my career since then and writing my songs and everything.
How you reacted when Radio Televisión Portuguesa Nuolo Pin called you to tell you that you were one of the selected participants for Festival da Canção this year?
It's actually really funny because this song that I'm participating with, Adamastor, I've already submitted it through the free submissions, uh,
Yes.
so I could perform in 2024, but it was not accepted.
Oh.
So yeah, so then after the Festival 2024 finished, I got a call from Nungulpin. There's one of the main people that selects,
Mhm.
inviting me to participate in the festival. So it was really a full circle moment. And because I'm very stubborn, I went with the same song. Of course, the song has evolved a lot since the moment I submitted it to what you're hearing now. But
Mhm.
it was a really funny song. But I don't know. It's a very big thing here in Portugal, especially for me because my career, I'm still what you might call like an emergent artist, so my career is not super big yet. So
Mhm.
it's a really big opportunity, and my first contact with the like Portugal, saying like in the full country, not just like
Yeah.
some people that listen to my music, but like being presented to the full country in national television. It's a very big responsibility, especially because and actually I was thinking like in my mind like it's one of like Festival da Canção and Eurovision. It's like the biggest music, I would say, you can call it competition, but I would call it like uh, contest, maybe.
Sti-
Yeah, musical
yeah.
contest. Yeah, musical contest, and one of the most, if not the most, I think, Eurovision television like moments, like watched like by like I don't know how many million people.
Mhm.
So I don't know. It's just like a very big opportunity. I'm very grateful for it, and I'm hoping to do my best, and I'm working for that.
Adamastor, as you told, is one of the songs. First of all, what is Adamastor meaning? Because I tried to translate it and I didn't find anything in English or in Spanish. What is Adamastor? Sorry, stands for?
Actually, that's really funny that you tried to translate it
I.
because Adamastor is actually the name of a character in Portuguese mythology. So, in our
Mhm.
history, there was this creature that the sailors, when they went through Africa and they needed to, I don't know the name of the cape right now, but back
Mhm.
then they call it the Cape of Tempests, of Torments. So, like I would say in Portuguese, I don't know if you understand, Cabo das Tormentas.
Cabo de
So
Serpientes. Yeah.
yeah. So and like the sailors said there was like this beast, and it basically put all the ships like underwater and sank them and killed everyone. So my take on it was in a more uh, I would say, metaphoric way. So the
Mhm.
Adamastor para mim is a lot about the voices that you have in your head, like saying you're not enough, or that you cannot do that thing because it will go wrong. The voices that like trying to protect you, but actually are like stopping you from being who you want to be and from achieving your dreams. So it's about a lot about this battle between fear that we all feel, but having the courage to surpass that fear and to be able to make our own way, I would say. So I wanted to focus more on that and on the identity part of having the courage to be ourselves, like I said in the beginning. So the meaning is a lot more related to that. And I thought the Mastor, because of the history that he had, and of about being a monster that represented fear, and about being also like a thing that wasn't actually real, something that the sailors imagined because of
Mhm.
the storms and everything. I thought it would be a very good analogy to the meaning that I was trying to translate to everyone. So that's
That's
why you couldn't find the translation.
that's a really exciting analogy you made, and I can understand now why it's one of the best received songs from the whole competition. How are you feeling this? Because you are an emerging artist in Portugal, how you receive this kind of positive feedback from not only Portuguese fans, also from the listeners around Europe?
I was actually really surprised. Like, of course, I think my song is good, and of course, like I love my song, and I think it's like has the possibility to go to Eurovision. But I never had this presentation to so many people. And actually, I think a lot of times I feel like my music in Portugal is considered very alternative, and not in a good way, in a way that impossibilitates me to reach more people and to reach a broader audience, because I don't know, the radios or the media just thinks people will not connect with because it's so alternative and it's something that they're not used to listen. So all of a sudden, having this opportunity that doesn't put those types of barriers, and showing my music to whole of Portugal and internationally to the rest of Europe, and having the people saying to me like they like it and they identify with it and they love the journey that it takes them. It's very reassuring, and I would say it makes me feel more secure of myself and of my music, because it's like, when you get that feeling that's like you're taking a risk, but then the risk pays off and people telling, no, 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 you're right, like this is good. So it was good, like having the confirmation from the public and not just from myself and like from my team. But yeah, so like it's been like a very fun interaction between me and like especially people from abroad, because I always try to understand more about their country. So a lot of times I ask like for them to tell me like songs, like traditional songs from their countries, or like more modern songs. So
Mhm.
I've been loving having this dialogue and hearing what people think about my song and their interpretations and everything.
Your first performance will be in the first semi-final in February 22nd. How, as far as you can tell, of course, don't spoil everything. How are going the preparations? What will be the concert that you want to bring to the stage of the Festival da Canção?
The concept of the performance is very much associated with this idea that I told you about the Adamastor. The way
Mhm.
that I change the Adamastor story and I depict the Adamastor is through a lighthouse, farol. You know what it is? Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, in my story, Adamastor is not this creature that just like kills everything that goes through. Is more like of a guardian, and it only lets pass the people that have the courage to show themselves without masks, without anything, through the light of the
Mhm.
lighthouse. So the performance is going to be a lot about that, about having the courage to show yourself without anything, and having the people that don't have that courage. So it's going to be like a battle between, I would say, courage and fear. It's going to be a lot of movement, more that I'm used to on my performances. A lot of light show, um, lights that transmit the energy that you're feeling through the song, I would say, and also
Mhm.
emulating the light of the lighthouse. And I would say this is as much as I can tell without revealing the whole show.
Nah, but that hints are really appealing, are really nice, and I want to see that in your semifinal. Talking about semifinals, Cansao, what are your thoughts about your mates, especially in your first semifinal? We have really catchy songs like Jos, Capital da Bulgaria, Chico Gallato. What are your thoughts about your mates? And if you wanna tell us, what are your favorite songs from your teammates in Festival da Cansao this year?
Okay. So we can create some controversy.
I don't want to create controversy. In fact, I prefer to talk about teammates besides competitors because I
Yeah.
know Portugal is I know Portugal is really special with all the musicians unite. So yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's one of the things that's the only thing I'm not enjoying about this whole process. It's being a competition. I would much prefer like we could just like collaborate all together and all go to Eurovision, represent our country. That would be much cooler. Because also like getting to know different artists, because there was a lot of people that are participating this year that I didn't know before, and like me are like emerging artists. I've been connecting with some of them, and it's been like really nice to get to know them and like befriend them. But at the same time, we also have the notion that we are going to compete, so that's a little bit upsetting. But I don't know. So about my semifinal, I'm actually super glad that I'm in first semifinal first, because I think it's because being the first also gets a little bit more how do you say, people are watching than
Yeah.
the second one. And also because of the teammates that are in there, I've been really connecting with Josh, and I really like his song. I like when I first heard all of the songs, my favorite one was Chico Gayat. So like it's
Oh.
a song that I think is also in the same universe as mine, but with
Mhm.
different languages. I don't know. I actually don't remember all of the people that are in the first
I can
semifinal,
I can I can understand. Don't worry.
but like I really like these two songs, Tristeza and Ai Senhor. And I'm also like very happy because like there's a lot of other people that I know in the first semifinal, so I think it's going to be a very friendly and supportive like vibe in the show. And I think the second semifinal actually is going to be a lot more harder to decide which songs go and which songs stay, because I think like you have a lot more like things in the same you know like the same
Yeah.
level. So I think it's a lot less evident like what it's going to happen in the second semifinal. So I'm very happy
Totally.
in being in the first one.
Totally, because I told for the time I is upload this interview, I told to Acantodeira, you can watch
Mhm.
it in our YouTube, go, and she told me more or less her semifinal is really interesting with Renka, Fernando Daniel, Emicor, Diana
Yeah,
Vilariño, and all of them with really nice songs. So it's really hard to choose
yeah.
from that semifinal. Now. Going to the Eurovision instead, obviously, almost all Portuguese I talk in this media and other medias, they told me the same. That the victory of Salvador Sobral was a breaking point. Do you have any memory, sorry, of watch Eurovision before that victory, or that victory was your first contact with Eurovision?
I knew what Eurovision and Festival da Canção was before that, but I think it was very how I would say the word in Portuguese antiquado. Do you
Ah,
know the
yeah.
term?
I understand, but I don't have the word in
The word in
English. But
English.
I can
Oh, okay,
understand.
yeah, I got it. Old fashioned.
Old
I
fashioned,
think,
yes.
yeah, I think like the festival, not exactly before that, but in general, it was like a little bit old fashioned. It was in a format. I think like a lot of people started losing interest, and I don't think there was a very big adhesion in terms of like Portugal itself watching Festival da Canção. And I think after Salvador like won, their like FTP and like the whole organization put a lot more effort and try to rebrand themselves as a more like modern and I would say like alternative, because I think they like since then they've been giving a lot of opportunities to artists that are not very known to the public. And
Mhm.
I think it's been paying off, because most of the times the artists that are not known to the public are the artists that win and go represent Portugal. So I think that also shows like the fact that you're not known is not the same thing as quality. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
quality. It's just like they didn't have the opportunity yet to be known by the general public. So I think it definitely changed a lot, and I'm really happy of participating in the contest also because of that, because of it being an institution that's giving opportunities to people that deserve it and people that usually don't have these types of opportunities in Portugal. Like I said, for example, the types of music that are made and the types of music that exist in Festival da Canção and Eurovision in Portugal are considered, I would say, a lot more alternative. And because of that, it usually doesn't have a market, or the gatekeepers don't usually want to present them to people because they're more afraid of the reaction. So I think having Festival da Canção and them taking that chance and that risk, it's like a really important thing, and I'm proud to be behind this family.
And if you can tell, what are your favorite songs from Eurovision Song Contest from Portugal or for another countries? If you wanna tell us.
Like I was saying in the beginning before I started recording, I really like La Chispa song because like I
No,
don't
no.
know,
I
like
mean, I mean participants through the years of Eurovision, even from
oh,
Portugal
through the
or
years from
yes,
Portugal or all around.
exactly.
Okay. Okay, can I say La Chispa because I like the song.
Well, we can change. You
Uh,
can change melody to La Chispa and make it participant. Why not? It's joking.
I also like starting like internationally. I really like Mahmoud from Italy. Like
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's also an artist that I see that creates its own like world and its own language. It's not just the music; it's everything around it. In Portugal, I really like Yolanda's performance and her work so far.
Mhm.
And like, for example, in this edition, I really love like Emmy Curl's work. I think it's super good. I was super surprised with Enka's work. I didn't knew it before, and now like I really like her song. And it's not a genre that I usually listen to, but I think it's like very well made, and I can definitely see why people are so engaged with the song and are so excited with the song, especially being it from Portugal and not from another country, because also like rock metal, it's not a genre that's very uh, like heard in
Common.
Portugal. Yeah, not common. Like it, I wouldn't say common because I think there's a lot of people making it. I think there's just not a lot of like I would say maybe like radios and like institutions and places of like putting the information out, like
Yeah.
supporting that genre. So yeah, I think like people are very excited about Enka's song because of that as well, because it's like a thing that a lot of people like to listen, and there's a lot of people making it, but you don't actually see a representation of that nationally. So yeah, I would say around these artists are like a good description of like what I like.
Totally, totally it is. Last but not least, besides all that could happen in your semifinal, your Festival da Canção journey, or even Eurovision, what are your future plans for your career in 2025?
This song, Adamastor, is the second song of my second EP that I'm working right now.
Mhm.
The first one, the first single, is called Mão Morta, is the song that I released previous to that. And basically, till the end of the year, I'll be releasing the rest of the songs of this EP. The name of the EP is In the Seventh Day God Created. So in Portuguese, in o sétimo dia Deus criou.
Mhm.
And it's very much about this concept of like Portuguese mythology, but trying to renew that in terms of sonority, but also in terms of the histories, not being just about these creatures, these monsters that are just like evil because they're evil, but actually trying to give some perspective. I don't know if you know Maleficent.
Malefica, yeah.
Yeah. So the story like behind that also like really inspired me. This notion that the villains are just the villains because you're seeing them through the point of view of the hero, and actually most of the times they're not villain, they're just like being villainized. I really like that and identified with that also because of like the more deep meaning I think it has connected like with real life, let's say it like this, in terms of like you a lot of times you have people that are different, that express themselves differently, have different opinions, different tastes, and a lot of times they are villainized and they are misinterpreted. So I really wanted to find a way that I could metaphorically talk about that, but also introduce like the culture of my country, that it's not very known. This mythological part of Portugal is not very known even to us. So I wanted to merge, I would say, the traditional with the modern, and having my own narrative about the peculiar, and having people having the courage to be themselves throughout all the project. So yeah.
Damn it! I want to hear that. I want to hear that EP. It sounds really exciting for a person like me that likes history, mythology, and music at equal parts. João Nicolau, Peculiar, thank you so much for being with us. Muito obrigado for your time. I will close this interview in Spanish, and of course, good luck in the semifinal in all Festival da Canção Journey. Muchas gracias a Peculiar por estar con nosotros, por habernos dado su tiempo. ¿Quieren más entrevistas como esta tan deliciosas? Pues denle al botón de suscribirse y por supuesto al botón de like, y síganos en redes sociales, somos en todas ellas Shufflin Media. Muy obrigado, nos vemos en la siguiente. Bye.